So when I was a little girl, I had two heroes in my life. The first one was my dad, and he still is my hero. But I grew up watching Derek Jeter, and he was my childhood hero. And I think for a little while he was even a crush. But the interesting thing is, Derek Jeter, he has so much talent, but he was, makes me emotional. He was a hero to so many kids because nothing ever came out about him that was bad, right? We hear about all of these athletes and they get mixed up with the wrong crowd, or they chase the fame, and they have like allegations come out about them. But Derek Jeter, he was arguably one of the best baseball players of all time, and he was just a class act, and he didn't even get married until after he retired. I think that's true. But anyway, I just wanted to say, like, who's your hero in life? Who are you looking towards to be more like? Is it somebody that you've seen on TV? Is it somebody in your life? Maybe a parent or a friend? The interesting thing is I looked up to Derek Jeter, but I never knew him, right? Like, I never knew him as a person. I never got to meet him. I got pretty close. And I remember getting a baseball of his when I was a little girl, and I just remember thinking, like, Derek Jeter touched this. He touched it, and so that means, like, I get to touch it. Like, this is so incredible. But I just want to encourage you today. It's Easter Sunday is tomorrow, and I just believe that there are great people in this world. There are loving people in this world. There are kind people in this world. There are selfless people in this world who you can look to and say, like, oh, like, they live a good life, and I want to model my life after them. But truly, Jesus is our greatest model for how to live our life. He lived a life of service. He lived a life of selflessness, and he didn't discourage people from coming to him. He said, come to me, you who are weary, you who are burdened, and I will give you rest. And I think it's really interesting that very quoted Bible verse, John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his one and only son. And then when Jesus took the cross and he was crucified, it was written that he gave up his spirit. And maybe you don't know Jesus. Maybe you've never really experienced him, and you think people who are followers of him are crazy or they're weird. That's okay. I used to think, gosh, are all of these people who are going to church, are they just like gullible? Like, do they just believe everything that the pastor says? Because I've met some men of God who I wish that I could look to them and say, like, wow, like, that's the kind of man that I would like to be with, or that's the kind of godly person that I aspire to be like. And I would get discouraged. Like, there were some people that I was like, ooh, like, if that's what it means to be a follower of Jesus, I don't want to be like that. And so I think you get to a certain point, a certain place where you can get hurt and you can feel pain, and you can think, like, wow, like, is this is it worth it? And I just believe that if you're following a pastor, he's going to let you down. If you're following a girl that you love, she's probably going to hurt you at some point. But when we follow Jesus, and we truly know him, we are safe, we are loved, and we are fully known. And I think he really desires to know us. Yeah, he made us, but he desires to hear our thoughts. He desires to hear our heart. And his heart has always been that we as believers would be united, just as him and the Father are one. And so I hope that this encourages you today. And I love you, and I'm praying for you.